us and hearing us as long as none of the settings have freaked out.
Hopefully.
You never know.
You never know when it comes to DisasterCast.
Okay, I see something has freaked out.
Oh dear God.
Well, no, this is really easy. It's because I've never set up having a guest on yet on this computer.
Really?
It doesn't seem so. Because I just redid all these.
Oh.
So, okay, now you can see us, and you should be able to hear Callumn, hopefully.
Hopefully.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, it looks like they'll be able to hear you. I just had it set to the wrong headphone device.
Hello, hello, hello.
How's everyone doing? Welcome to DisasterCast.
I do feel welcome.
First time we're doing 2 videos in a day in a while.
Yeah, I know. I'm feeling pretty good about it, too.
Mm-hmm.
It does feel nice to do this much work, but also I'm sure Brian's tired because he has to do lots more mental gymnastics than the rest of us do.
Oh, and I also have Mother's Day tomorrow that I need to plan everything for, so...
You haven't planned it?
No, I have a rough plan. I have an idea.
This is why Brian has troubles in life sometimes. He's really stressed. He's like,
you know
I got it down.
Brian, go on Craigslist and hire someone to, like, try to kidnap your mom and just beat him up.
That's an idea.
And your mom won't. Yeah, right? It's not a bad idea. It's a really bad idea, but it's an idea.
Oh my God, I got something in my eye. Oh, fuck. And then I can put all those martial arts skills I got in 8th grade to use. Woo, those served me well.
Yeah, I think that's your I think that could be Brian's biggest struggle, is you're like, because of your mindset of everything gets done eventually, as long as, it gets done. Regardless if it's 15 minutes before the activity I need to do.
If it wasn't for the last minute, nothing would ever get done.
It's the worst mindset you have.
That was given to me as a freshman in college by I think she was a senior that year. She's either a junior or senior, Erin. I'm not going to say her last name. But said if it wasn't for the last I know the last name. I'm not going to say it on stream.
Was it the one I met?
I don't know. There's several Erins in college.
Was it the one I threw up on?
I don't know which one you threw up on, Callum.
Probably then.
No, then we'll just gloss over it.
But yeah, if it was for the last minute, nothing would ever get done. And I'm like, you're right. And that's how I've lived my life. That's how I got through
I don't know
college.
which one of these has alcohol in it anymore.
Hello, hi, I'm Bryan Creevy. I'm the DM, the disaster master who tries
so hard. He's also the creative director, technically, if you wanted to give us him fancy titles.
Ooh, I like that.
I know you do.
That sounds good on a resume.
It's because that's technically what you are. Because you're in charge of the creative origin of this thing.
Should I update my LinkedIn?
You should. That you're the creative director at Nat Disaster. You're at the co-founder and creative director. Huh?
Are we an official company yet?
No, because you said we're taking a break, so I will decide to not file for an LLC.
Okay.
But I will probably do it soon anyways.
Would that work on LinkedIn?
Huh?
Would that work on LinkedIn? It still should, right?
Yeah, definitely. This counts. D&D
counts. I don't want to lie or anything like that.
You're not technically lying. That's what you're doing.
True. I didn't, yeah.
You are the creative director. You assign, not just you to the main writer, you also assign other writers to write stuff and direct their creativities. You are, by definition.
Yeah.
Because you assigned me a family to write.
That's just my self-deprecation. Like, it's nothing too big or anything. But yeah, it actually
Ryan,
is.
You're literally making a whole world. As more detailed than Tolkien has made his world.
Yeah, it's the goal.
So, like, I'm sorry, if Tolkien gets like, being like a godlike status writer, Brian, you earned your creative director title.
Tolkien's kids are making money. You should be making money.
Well,
we're working on the making money part.
So badly.
We technically could be making money, but both me and Brian, I think everyone on Nat Disaster makes too much money per year. That if any money we would make if we went to a full affiliate, like paid affiliate, would instantly go to taxes. It would be meaningless. We're already going to be paid pennies on the dollar, and instead we're just going to get taxed on pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
So it's not worth it.
I don't make anything.
I know. But still, it's not worth it until we put it into a holding company.
Yeah.
These are all things that we hope to do someday.
I intend to do that soon because I'm working on 2 or 3 other podcast ideas currently with other friends.
What kind? Oh, wait, hold on. Before we get into that question, this is DisasterCast.
Welcome to DisasterCast.
We're joined here by Callumn today, the wonderful man who plays, and the majestic beard himself, who plays Naresh in the main campaign, and has been playing Wind Whisper / Seabreeze in the Heist campaign.
Also, whoop whoop.
The Harbingers of Chaos, you two.
Welcome to DisasterCast, the D&D podcast that sometimes talks about D&D.
That was good.
Ooh, that's actually pretty good, guys.
Yeah, we're trying. I'm trying to. This is our best IP, technically.
So, moving right over to that. You said you had other ideas for podcasts.
Yes, but first I'm going to introduce myself. Hi, I'm Conlan Rose.
Oh, I thought you already did that.
I did not. I'm the only one who has an intro, technically. It's okay. We already did a session, and we're a little not sober, so like, we're gonna be a little slower today than we are normally. Also, I haven't done a DisasterCast with him in like 2 months, so like our vibe isn't there for some reason yet. We'll get into it. I'm Conlan Rose. I play Bracket. Greg, I forgot Greg's name for a second,
Greg.
And Rainn. I still remember him. That coward, wonderful coward,
Survived
with a heart of
1
gold.
HP.
He did. He shouldn't be alive. Unlike Wind Whisper, he just sat there at 1 HP and didn't die.
Okay, 1 HP. I almost fucking did it, guys. Almost did it.
I saved an entire party. Greg's a fucking hero. He's actually the biggest hero of any of the campaign any like character we have.
Yeah.
Because he should have been dead.
Gotta be a coward. The coward survived.
The coward's the hero. That's what's weird about that campaign.
Though, that Wind Whisper had the most, like, brutal moment in session today.
Oh, absolutely.
Which one is that in your eyes?
When you let me do that combo move that got
yeah, that's awesome.
Right on.
Mm-hmm.
I just love a good combo move.
I've been waiting to do
Combo.
I can't do them just yet. When Rainn takes to the next level of fighter, I can do combos.
Action Church.
Yeah.
Dude, that combo was fucking sick. Like, Yic, he's a high level wizard / paladin, so he's up there with HP. But you hit him with a cone of cold that he took the full brunt from. There was a few other minor hits, and then
I misread it. I thought he was going to get frozen solid if he failed the save.
No, that's only if they die. They
I misread it. So I was like, oh, he's still awake. Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah. Read your spells.
Oh, I also forgot to say the rest of my titles because I decided to eat instead because we got food. Wait. We normally do this DisasterCast eating bit at the end of the session, but food got here really early. Good job, Domino's. Like, on time.
Oh, yeah. What were your other ideas?
Oh, for podcast, we're not there just yet. I'm going to do the rest of my introduction things.
Longest intro ever.
We're the worst. It's a group of people with ADHD trying to run a podcast, okay? We have trouble. It's a miracle anything gets done. I'm also technically the technical director and co-founder of Nat Disaster. Now I'm done with my titles. And podcast ideas, I have an idea with some of my Eagle Scout friends who we might do a podcast idea. We just began the discussion on that. We don't know if it's going to happen or not yet. Mm-hmm. But that'll be on my channel. And my friend Chris and I have some podcast ideas, but we don't know if any of them will ever come to fruition. We've learned we're really good at planning out doing stuff that we'll never do. That's just what me and Chris do. Like, we will, like, make full Word documents, like, they're, like, legally binding documents for, like, ideas we have to do business and stuff, and then we'll do nothing about it. We're literally the worst. Me and Chris do this consistently.
Sitting on ideas like that, you gotta...
No, we don't sit on them. We flesh them out and then do absolutely nothing about it after that point. We're running a server farm.
It's that follow-through.
Yeah, it's the follow. Like, we're running a server farm that we, like, prepped all the documentation that we were going to send out to people to subscribe to use it for playing Minecraft and stuff. And then we just never did.
Why?
Me and Chris are lazy pieces of
Motivation.
shit.
Gotta get some motivation.
Like, we're getting better, but we've come up, me and Chris, with some podcast ideas. One of them I will never publicly announce I'm part of that podcast.
Wait, which one?
The one idea that we have, that me and Chris have, it's
We can't. What, are you not able to share it?
right now I'm not allowed to share it, no, because we think it's a really good idea, and he's talked to some people, and they all think it's gonna be...
Mute the mics.
I'll tell you later. I'm gonna attempt to tell you off stream. But it will be a doozy of a podcast that I will like doing, but you'll never know it's me doing it. I will not introduce myself as Ace Man or Conlan Rose. I will just be an anonymous person doing a podcast.
Incognito mode.
Yeah. We decided we're recording it because we realized it's gonna be like raunchy enough where we probably should edit it just in case we say something inappropriate. It's gonna be something,
no.
Brian.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'll tell you later, and you'll be like, "That's the worst thing ever." I love it. Tell me when it starts.
I am scared and excited.
Yeah, that's how you should think about that podcast, to be scared and excited.
Oh dear God.
Wow. But I have a couple of ideas. I also want to do like my own like personal podcast of just bullshitting. But I haven't done any of the work for that yet either. Because I don't know what I'd call it. Because I'm not very creative at names and titles. Proof today's title.
Come up with a name.
I know. Proof of today's title for the stream for DisasterCast is Touching Base with the Disaster Master, which isn't bad, but isn't good either. I've been more creative on title ideas. I just didn't have anything because I'm like, I don't know what the fuck we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about some in-session items. We're going to talk about the future of DisasterCast probably. I want to go over some of our artwork eventually. Mm-hmm. We'll see how ADHD we are and remember doing that. I have it open in a folder. We'll see if we get to it. So let's let Brian take over that ring that I want to know about what the fuck it does too. But he only wants to tell us what it does once, so he's holding back. If you watch the session, we found a mimic ring. I'm not sure what it does. Brian's bringing up the stats for it right now.
Yeah. It almost knocked Seabreeze unconscious again, which would have been fucking hilarious.
I knew he should put it on. I was waiting for him to do it anyways and be like, thud.
Callumn brought him back up to 20 HP. The Mimic did fucking 17 damage in one hit.
Yeah.
He's a fucking champ.
Fuck that guy.
But the Ring of the Mimic. It's something I found online, and I like the idea of it. It's not an official material. But it's an uncommon magic item, and it does require attunement. A ring that when gazed upon gazes back, popular among adventurers for its versatility. While using this ring, the wearer feels a sensation as if their finger is being licked from the interior of the band. Must be worn on a finger to benefit from attunement. While attuned, this ring trembles in the presence of larger mimics within 30 feet, even if unrevealed. This item can also cast guidance of self as a bonus action. This does not require concentration and can be used in tandem with the actual spell guidance. There is a curse, though, which obviously you won't know this even when you get the ring identified, because it doesn't identify curses, but they're the curses. If the skill check results in a critical failure, the ring will begin to spin. It will then completely devour the finger it is attached to, breaking attunement and falling to the ground. The DM decides how and where it rolls. The user takes 1d12 slashing damage and can only regain the finger through magical means. If recaptured, the ring can reattune, but needs to be on a new finger.
No shit. I'll figure that out.
That's amazing. I love that.
It's so great. It's a free guidance as a bonus action, which you can then do in tandem with the guidance spell. So you can give yourself 2d4 if you were like a cleric or something like that.
That's neat.
But it will devour your finger.
If you fuck up.
So you basically would need like a regeneration spell or something like that, or a greater restoration or something like that to regain that finger afterwards. So I thought
this is a weird question for you, DM.
Item.
I just had. No, I've had it before, but I've never been like talking to you and have the idea at the same time. So something like greater restoration or whatnot. Like obviously you as a DM can make these choices because that's your job. Would restore someone who has like deep scars or something like that, correct? Or like internal injuries that are have long-term damage. Obviously you'd have to decide that as.
I mean, greater restoration is more like effects on you. I feel
Not
like
great restoration. The one that you said.
regeneration.
Yeah.
There's regeneration, things like that can regenerate lost limbs and things like that. I'd say something like that can probably be used to alleviate alleviate scars. Well, get rid of scars. I can't think of the words.
Make your skin no longer have the damages.
Yeah,
that's not why.
Repair.
But you'd also could choose what you're repairing, correct?
Mm-hmm.
With the spell. Okay, cool. That's important.
It's not just like hold on your face and then all the scars go away. Like, I guess you can direct it, like aim it on the certain.
Well, see, because Rainn doesn't care about actually fixing her scars. Because there are things that people don't know in game about her, or even in universe, but me, you, and Vicky know about her, where she'll one day probably want that solved. It's not a problem right now.
Mysterious.
That's all it can be. That's do with her body, obviously. So I don't know. Do some guesses. I don't fucking know.
So
not people to actually guess in the chat.
So quick, talking about D&D a little bit though. Today's session that we went through. So it's session 28A. Oh boy. So Callumn.
Yeah.
How did you feel about like the visualization of your moment on your ship and being?
I loved it. I loved it.
Mm-hmm. Tell everybody, because I didn't get. There's no reason to say it on stream today. What is the name of your ship?
Watership Down.
Which I think is kind of hilarious. Watership Down.
What?
Yeah, it's
a weird
also
name.
A book that I really loved about these crazy schizophrenic rabbits.
I've never seen it, but Callumn has showed me the trailer, and holy shit, that's a fucking weird ass movie. I want to see.
Yeah, the movie's very strange.
Yeah, it was like a double into, so it was making fun of that, but then also Watership Down, like, ha. And I've also added the meaning that there are the down pirates downstream, so it's a Watership Down, ha ha. So many jokes on the.
Okay, well, Bryan, we are well, not just jokes, but we are the kings of like entendres upon entendres upon entendres, like one thing meaning something. Mm-hmm. Even when we do it by accident, sometimes, like I name my character Rainn. Rainn means change. Bryan's entire campaign's about change. And like I didn't do this on purpose. I was randomizing the name generator and saw Rainn and went, it's just Rainn normally with, like Rainn, it's actually raining, not double N, and went, no, double N's an actual name. I'm like, I don't know why the Sims has Rainn as just plain as a name, because it's not a female name actually.
Mm-hmm.
It's a male name. And I was like, no, I like that name. And not intentionally did that, and then wrote the entire character about a character who's like was born to was literally named Rainn to change the world. Then her parents died, decided to be nothing, and now like fuck, my job's to change the world. And is now dealing with that.
Yeah, a normal life is no longer in the cards for Rainn. It's funny that her name was. Oh, there's a lot of.
Yeah,
But there is her name started a chain of Rains too, which bye Callumn.
We'll see if he comes back. Oh, he's back already. Callumn. That was quick.
But yeah, her name.
Yes.
Her name sparked a change in a lot of the names, and the structure existed too. So her name would start a chain reaction of Rains.
Yeah, people being named Rainn. Mm-hmm. It's such a the fact that her name being because Rainn symbolizes change in writing a lot, like all the time, and that was completely incidental. And then you saw that and went, I don't know if you did it on purpose either, and went, I like that name, and she's supposed to be important, so yeah, we'll add it. And then now at the end, we're looking at her writing and going, wow, we did the most corny traditional writing thing, but we really didn't do it on purpose.
It just kind of happened.
Yeah. We're like, shit, now we're just corny pieces of shit writers, even though we did not. She could have been named Dave. Makes no sense. But that was the quickest name that came to my head. Mm-hmm. I'm not fast at female names.
How do both of you guys feel about Yic being killed today?
He's even dead.
I don't think he's dead.
Why would you ever think that?
Well, besides the fact you told me stuff earlier, but also because, when the beam began hitting him, I'm like, Yic had a plan. Of course he did. He's a high-level wizard, and it's his lair. Why would he not have a plan?
They know they're squishy. You have to have
a
backup plans.
So I was so unsurprised when that happened. I was like, oh, yeah, he's back. Great. That's going to be a problem.
Die Hard with a vengeance.
Yeah. What was your opinion, Callum?
I wish that I had had an opportunity to like kill him again.
You might.
Honestly,
Well, probably not.
I don't know. We'll see how. If he comes back, he might be pissed and come and try and find us at the gala. Depends on what Bryan's writing choices. Please don't do that. That sounds like way more work on your part than anyone else's. We can deal with that problem, but you have to deal with that problem.
dude, he's just gonna come straight up to Seabreeze and cast Feeble Mind on him, and just be like, you know what? Come, follow me,
I have to leave.
young idiot.
Oh, guards. Is he using magic?
My suggestion: I am not using magic.
Oh yes, that's gonna work on the level 17 knights. They all look there. Did he just try and use mass suggestion on us?
I did not just try to use mass suggestion on you.
Dude, it didn't work the first time. What do you think my saves are? What do you think?
Hold on one moment. Starts drawing a teleportation circle on the
I'm
right.
gonna just throw the sword through him. Ah! Next one, throw it through his arm.
Oh god, no.
I feel like the knights would deal with him really fast.
No, he has his eyes on Seabreeze, and he does not want to take that gaze off.
Imagine. Neither of you have seen Disenchantment, so never mind. I won't use the reference. I'm sad.
You sound really sad about it.
Yeah, I am. Because it has
Show.
context that you would find funny if you saw the show, but without it, it just hurts the show. So I won't hurt the show because it's too good a show that we'll watch one day when we have free time. So sometime when we're in our 70s.
True.
I'm just being realistic. Unless this becomes a career, then I would love podcasting to be a career. If I just had to talk all day. I already like hearing myself. I hate hearing myself, but I like talking.
Mm-hmm.
Which we all know.
Yeah, that's something you brought up several times. Like, I like watching some of our old sessions, but you don't, because you don't like hearing yourself.
No, I hate my voice, which is a big struggle for someone who likes to talk a lot.
And likes to do little voice acting things.
Well, I do voice acting just because it gives emphasis on stuff, not because I'm like voice acting. It's just because I have to be Rainn sometimes, or I have to be Bracket. You know, I have to be the hero. I have to save the world. I'm being a little too blunt with his voice right now because I have to refine it because his voice was just my voice and it can't be anymore because I have to narrate potentially if I ever get to play both my characters at the same time. I have to narrate two characters and what they're doing, so I have to make their voices very definitive. Rainn's is easier. You just go down low, you go down, and you're higher. And I can't do it right now. My voice is too fucked up to do it. I ruined my voice being Rainn last DisasterCast last week when I had strep.
What
So
you were
guys,
doing?
I'm gonna go to bed because I've got church in the morning.
Okay, very fair, sir. I hope you have a wonderful night's sleep. Any closing remarks, Mr. Callumn?
I had a really good time tonight hanging out with you guys and doing the DisasterCast for a little while.
I had a great time having you here. It's very exciting.
It's good having you in
I hope
session
you guys have a
too.
good rest of your night.
Finally seeing how that got resolved, Callum.
Yeah, it went a lot better than I expected, but a lot worse than I anticipated.
Got you knocked unconscious again, man.
That was the least of my worries.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just afraid of him coming and beating up my friends.
Fair.
That'll all be seen,
but
possibly in the next upcoming disasters.
I don't think future disasters. Next one's gonna, in theory, be boring. But we know Bryan. He's gonna light it on fire somehow.
That's true. All right, guys. Have a good night, man.
Good night.
Good night,
Man.
Callum. Yeah, we're gonna lose him, which means we can take the headphones off, which is awesome.
Oh my god. Ooh.
But you guys are gonna see a blank screen for a second. You'll still be able to hear us fine. But I need to reset the camera up after I close out of this call. I need to then tell the camera to exist.
So we're just gonna be talking about Jumbo Mumbo, as you can't see anything, yet you can definitely hear us.
Yeah, I just had to tell my OBS, hey, can you grab the camera? Oh yeah, it's not even grabbing the right camera. That's why it wasn't working. Okay, now you can see us. See, it was an easy fix. Okay, now I can unplug my headphones and stuff. Oh, much better. Now my ears don't have to fucking sweat. Though it was nice having Callumn on.
Camera angle looks a little bit different. Is it a different camera? Or is it the same?
It's the same camera, but the angle is different because the third monitor's gone, so I adjusted how it sits on the monitor.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, because it used to skew this way a hair. Because of just the way it was wedged underneath the fourth monitor on top. It will probably do that again when I have a new monitor coming in, and this one's going to become the fourth one. Because this one's beginning to have, you can see it when I do this. See how it's beginning to flicker? It flickers and stuff. Its backlight's going bad. So I got a brand new monitor that will not have that problem.
The real question, when are you going to get the fifth monitor?
It would just make it too hard to get stuff behind the computer. So that's literally the only reason why not. Also, then it would be hard for the mic. Like, the mic's right here. So how am I going to phase that through another monitor?
I'm just going to get like a smaller screen monitor to put right there, Conlan.
I own those. I don't need
to
get one.
Basically a security system in all of those movies from like Paul Blart Mall Cop.
That's not who I am.
Like that.
That fourth monitor literally just exists to like throw stuff up
the guy
for streaming.
The chair.
I literally only use it for streaming though. Like as soon as we go back in person, it will be completely useless.
Yeah.
But do I have this set up? That's Discord plus art. Oh, I don't have one set up. I probably do have one set up. Yeah, there are ones that are good enough. Give me a second. I'm going to we'll keep Bryan talks.
Oh no. I have to string together words.
Yeah, you do.
It's almost like
it's your job.
It's something that I've chosen to do as a living by being able to string words together in a way that has meaning and can convey emotions and tell a story. So I need to be able to freeball it sometimes, which is very difficult when it's hard to put thoughts together in your head, but it's really fun to do.
Yeah, you are bad at putting thoughts together in your head, but you're good at putting them on paper.
Yes, oh my god, writing things down is significantly easier. Except just, I don't know, it just gives you the second to, like, put your thoughts together.
I suck at writing stuff down. I'm great at...
I am terrible at public speaking.
I can't public speaking either.
Oh my god, I had the option to take that in college, and I was just like, nope, not gonna fucking work out.
Oh, why did I do this? I should have duplicated this. I can still duplicate it.
Watching you do the technical things you do is a fucking amazing. It really is. Like, I don't know how you know how to do all of this.
Honestly, I don't either. That's why I can't teach people.
I know the basic things for writing, for getting on the internet.
Literally, like, that's what's funny, is people are like, how do you do this? And I go, I literally, honestly wish I could tell you. Because people ask me, like, to teach them stuff, and I'm like, I honestly just know how to do it. I'd not to sound cocky, but I just know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I don't know where it came up. I get on software and I start using it.
And then it just made sense to you.
Yeah. Like, I got frustrated for the first couple of days. Like, when I was helping London with doing the art for Rainn, for doing the tattoos, I didn't know how to use Clip Studio Paint. But as soon as I figured it out, I, like, cranked. And I did an entire tattoo in, like, 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But it took 3 or 4 hours of learning for me to be, like, good at it. It's just, I don't know, it's a skill I've had a long time. I don't know where it came from. I'm not great at anything, but I'm okay at a whole bunch of shit.
Seriously.
That's the best way. I am one of those masters of a million fucking things, but or like a jack of all trades, a master of none. I'm one of those people. And sometimes that makes me sad.
Well, honestly, like, big fucking round of applause for you, because all the shit you do to make this podcast, this stream, everything work.
I'm literally currently making a scene on Discord.
As you
on
are
OBS.
Doing the podcast.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, too.
It honestly, is. You don't see any of the behind the scenes. Normally I do these scenes beforehand, but I forgot to make this one scene, which was me being able to show off art and have the camera up, and it was very dumb of me not to do that. Like, good job, idiot pants me. How did I forget that? Like, it's such a dumb thing. Oh, these are not... Can you, refresh these in order? Oh, you guys gonna put them in group. Sort by date. Wrong direction. Date that way. Chinrash wasn't done first. Oh, no, but he did the... So, but the fixed Chiron happened after. Whatever, it's not important.
Dude, I'm so glad that we have these many people animated, and
we're actually gonna do Rainn first, just because she's the last one I really want to talk about it
We're gonna be doing chibis soon too. I've already given Andy over to the artist. Who's gonna
You
be
can
doing the
just
chibi.
send him or her.
Rainn and just be like, "Hey, make
This
it
is
a
the
chibi."
character. This is the... Okay, so now you can see. Here's Rainn up because Bryan is not like Bryan's seen the character because we obviously put in the group chats and whatnot, but he hasn't been in person. We haven't had a commentary. Like we had little talks, texting and whatnot, but that's not the same as being in person.
I love you that Rainn didn't shy away from like actually being like strong. Like she doesn't have like the slim look.
I
like
was very specific with Exis Pulp with that. I was like, can you like the first line art, her arms are a little like softer, her legs are a little softer. I was like, she's cut. She's not.
She has a good strength modifier.
Yeah, her strength modifier is I'm not looking up. It's a 14. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, she's got the tavern brawler in there. Like
she's very strong for a woman. She has more upper arms. Well, also she's an art. Like she actually is a trained archer, even though she uses the crossbow. It's just because it's lighter and easier to carry. But she knows how to she knows archery. She's has to climb like up fucking like ladders and stuff like and run and fight. So like she's a pretty built girl. She's also not that tall. So like her brawniness shows more because she's a not very big character. That's also why she's pretty heavy, like in terms of like weight compared to height. Because I've met women who are like 140 pounds and 5'2", and they're dense. They're dense. That's the best way to describe them. They're not attractive. They're just that you end up having thick thighs and big arms and wide shoulders because muscle tone. That's just realistically how humans are built, and that's how I asked London to draw her.
Yeah, and so why? I'm just curious. The colorful on one thigh, colorful on the opposite arm, and then like more black and white and stuff on the other side. What was the
a large
idea
portion of her tattoos?
A
large portion of these tattoos were done when she was fucking on drugs. So like, to be honest, it was whatever drugged up her. Like saw ideas in a window,
at a pattern and been like,
oh, I want that, and then like drew it. Did
so
some
she
sketching
has no
herself.
like special attachment to some of her tattoos.
Some of her tattoos she has special attachment to. Some of them she doesn't. The ones on her arms, not that much. So they're just tattoos. They're just, the one on the thigh that you can see on that. So that would be what the left thigh is actually a tribute to Nyra's Grove. You can't see it that well. I have another photo that in theory you could see it well, but it's not appropriate for Twitch, so I can't show it.
That's on Twitter.
You can see on XX Pulp's Twitter, and please go like, favorite, retweet if you feel being risque.
Follow him.
Absolutely.
Follow us.
Go like that post he has that has 11,000 likes.
True.
Because all it is smoking. How do you think ever?
Do we have any? Oh, we don't have any way to pull it up or anything like that. Or do we?
I could pull it up, but I don't want to. I want to keep his Twitter.
We need to figure out how to put links up on the screen.
Here.
Go to this page.
Rowdy, if you watch the YouTube VOD of this, I'll throw his Twitter in and hope that doesn't get the video immediately removed from Twitter.
So his Twitter.
It's in the doobly-doo.
It's down below.
In the doobly-doo, which I love that so many YouTubers call it like the doobly-doo or something like that. Like, because I know like one famous YouTuber must have just fucked it up the one time they want to say description. They said doobly-doo, and they're like, no, what the fuck? And they just rolled with it, and then everyone went, that's better than description. And then every YouTuber ever just went, the doobly-doo.
I love the internet.
I love that was a choice that every YouTuber made. It was either down below or, in the doobly-doo.
We're so fucking weird on the internet. I love the way the world.
Oh, that's why I love that we get to podcast and stuff.
The doobly-doo. Check it down below. Like, what the fuck, world?
Yeah. But that tattoo is homage to Nyra.
Mm-hmm.
Because at one point Rainn was a little more religious. She is no longer as religious because the gods didn't, help and heed her call. So, disenfranchisement. They are busy. Like, realistically, and Rainn's pretty aware of that. But she's on the opinion of they're so busy that they care for none of the people who pray to them. That's her opinion on them.
They're so busy. Oh my god.
Like, obviously they are busy. They're actual people in the world, not fake entities. So they're actually busy. They're actively doing stuff all the time. They have full-time jobs.
And now one of them recently, one of the
Ow.
biggest of them all is like getting ridiculed a little bit away because he smited somebody who got knocked unconscious. Then they nat 20 to death saving throw and came back to life. And now everybody's like, you can't even just kill one person.
I didn't know
huh?"
about that. The only tattoo that, like,
A lot of shit's going on in the gods in the world.
yeah, one of the tattoo I didn't end up adding that I wanted to add some more detail was on the earth. I wanted to do one that was more Ty'Quorus themed, but you didn't give me a lot of good answers because you were busy during this couple weeks. So I was just like, whatever, we'll just do more. It'll just be a skull and a whole bunch of flowers.
Ty'Quorus, the one of creation.
Yeah.
He's the one who does.
Well, that was me and Vicky. Was
association with the jar.
Me and Vicky's decision became Ty'Quorus just gonna be happy that Rainn's putting art on her body. Because he's technically the god of art, even if he didn't choose that. No one else picked that one, so it was like, well, you get art. Well, he's like, well, I'm not losing there.
There is a god of creativity.
I understand that, but like creating, like they both share art. Then
anything that you can make is a new form of creation. So the creation god would like that, just like a creativity god.
Yeah. So the one's now gross. So actually, that is in the actual picture that it is a panther and a snow leopard, which is the same animal. In case anyone's wondering, like there's like 6 big cats. They're just the same animal. They just have different patterns. Like they're slightly different, like, but they all can breed with each other with no problem because they're nearly the same animal. It's just they live in different parts of the world, so they have different patterning. Because like mountain lions, panthers, and snow leopards are the same animal, pretty much.
I don't know why I chose panther for Naira. That was a very long time ago.
Jungle
Book. I think it felt because
I'm picking Jungle Book.
Jungle kind of forest than anything else. Like kind of wild. So I would say I don't think I associated with Jungle Book, but that's just the feel.
I think you didn't.
How the wildlands in the Shadeshire Forest used to be.
I don't think you meant to. I think your deep, deep child brain went, hey, remember that Panthers in Jungle Book? That's a good symbol. And you're like, yeah, you're right. I think that's what actually happened, Bryan. But you just have not clicked those like gears into place yet. Is like deep in our like early childhood, we all watched Jungle Book, and there was a panther who's a main character. So, like, that's deep into, like, the woods are associated with mountain lions and panthers, which is why, that's why she has a panther on her leg.
Yeah. So, panthers have been associated with woods all my life. Never seen a panther in the woods.
Honestly, don't want to.
I've walked through the woods most of my life. Where are the panthers? They lied to us.
Okay, as a person who's, like, been next to a lynx, it doesn't make you any more rest assured that you actually have seen one. They can kill you instantly if they choose to. They've made the choice of, like, you're not worth it. Which also, like, is disheartening that you're useless. But, ow. But, like, also...
worth killing? God
damn it. It's okay, I watched a mountain lion pose for pictures at, where were we? Mount Greylock in Massachusetts. He was just sunning himself on, like, this wall. Like, this is, like, a decorative wall on the property on the top of the mountain, and tourists are coming up and just taking pictures of him, and he was posing for them. This is a big cat that's been around too many people, so like he was just like, what? Yeah, I'm beautiful. What's your fucking problem? It was very funny to watch people get tourists get way too close to me, be sitting there like, you do know he can eat you, like he can maul you, and you can do literally nothing about it. This is not a park ranger. It's not that season. You're dicked. Like that's just going bye as you die.
Hey, can we? I have to go to the bathroom actually really bad.
We can absolutely
intermission.
It is at that hour mark or 45 minutes. That's pretty close to our intermission time. So we're gonna take a quick intermission. We'll be right back, guys. So Bryan can go use the bathroom.
Thank you. Oh, yes, it does.
It should.
Awesome.
Extra Casey's. So I just assume it works for you.
Mm-hmm.
Is this what I want? Yes. I'm going to switch on to another drawing. I think we're done with Rainn's.
Are we back?
Yeah, we're back.
Oh, hi. You normally announce it.
I said we're back, and then I said, don't you know, twice.
Oh.
You just...
Well,
not.
normally you're more like, and we're back. They can
I'm sorry,
hear us. They can see us.
I'm still working off what's left of having strep last week. That's why I'm lower energy than normal.
Dude, getting sick during this time is the fucking worst.
Getting sick with not COVID is the dumbest thing. Because you're just like, how did I fuck this up?
But I got the common. I think it was the cold. Last year during COVID. That was the fucking worst. I thought I was dying. Like I was just like, no, it's only been 5 months into the pandemic. Am I really gonna be the one to die this soon? Me with my asthma and everything, I would be.
Remember when in the beginning of the pandemic you were being the least responsible of all of us? And I'm like, you have asthma, and you went, right.
You know, I'm a social person.
Yeah, because you're.
Oh my god, that has changed in this year.
Yeah, it's a pandemic.
I'm not as social as I used to be. As
I get
I've been
anxiety.
found out with certain tiptoes back out into the world now that I'm vaccinated.
I have anxiety attacks going to fucking car shops to go get my vehicle work done.
Mm-hmm.
I have many anxiety attacks trying to go there. So yeah, I think I have a problem. This has caused a problem. I need
the wedding that I went to that you guys caught me on for last week's DisasterCast.
I need to zoom out of this first.
There was we were outside and then also a little bit inside, but there was 70 people there. I was like, oh dear Lord. There are a lot of people around me.
You might need to cover up your nipples. I don't know if Twitch is going to get angry at Brian's drawing on
we've done it on Twitch before, and Twitch hasn't said anything.
It's literally in the scrolling photos that are in our... It's
So,
on in every video.
If Twitch had a problem with it, Twitch would have already complained to us.
In theory, but our luck, it won't be found out until, we're, about to be oh, man, we're to hit it big. You've been banned. Why? Brian's drawn on nipples were on stream. It's been like this for, literally 2 years.
Dude, building it yourself on a different streaming service after one kicks you off must be terrifying. Twitch, don't ever do that to us. I don't want to...
Mixer's gone, so, what do you even go to?
Facebook Watch.
I'd rather just kill myself.
Yeah, I really don't know.
I don't know what the third one was called. It's gone from my memory. That's how unimportant it is.
What do you do as a streamer?
You make another Twitch account. Twitch isn't yours.
Hey, psst. We're under this name now.
People have done it. You just have to make sure you don't violate terms of service again.
Yeah.
You have to be super, careful about it. And sometimes if you is a very big violation, they will ban you again. And then they'll ban your IP. And then you actually can't watch Twitch either. You're just banned.
Twitch, we love you.
Amazon, our overlords. Please be kind.
Lord and Savior Amazon.
I swear I haven't actually transitioned to your Brian's nipples. And now we're actually transitioning. I'm not paying attention. So much talking today.
Dude, sorry, this is the first time we got Domino's in this podcast. There is so much that I'm sorry that there's times where you're talking and I'm trying to say something, but I'm chewing cheesy bread. Give me a second.
Well, I think I gave up on eating the cheesy bread right now.
Not how good Domino's is.
Their pizzas, okay. Their sides,
I don't know how many of you out there lived on a college campus, but Domino's $5.99 thing is literally the perfect...
The fact that they've made the decision that deal is just a permanent thing.
They kept that. I don't know if anybody remembers this, but they kept that going from having it to not having it, and then that would be the most stressful thing. Be like, all right, I'm gonna get 2 pizzas for $5.99. Fuck, I'm not gonna get 2 pizzas for.
Then you put the 2 pizzas on your thing, and it'd be $35 for 2 pizzas. You're like,
it's just
fuck that. And then you didn't get Domino's.
And then for me and all of us in New Hampshire, it's all right, fine, I'll get Pizza 911.
Well, I have about 100 really good pizza places. I live in Connecticut.
Mm-hmm. Which
is why I don't buy pizza from Domino's.
New Haven has the best pizza in the world.
Pizza capital of the world.
I don't care what you say, New York. New York,
Fuck you.
Chicago,
Fuck you.
California too. Like, I don't know why you're in the ring at all.
They pretend they're in the
It's
ring.
New Haven pizza.
They just pretend they're in the ring. Ow, I just touched my vaccination site. That was painful.
So, this other image. So, I've always loved this. And did you know London actually put an Easter egg in this image of me? If you look down for the book, it says Dungeons of Draconis. It's basically the book that they use when they play D&D in Community. Just since that's something that him and I liked watching when we were both growing up, thought it was like a nice little callback.
Scoot your cheesy bread to the side for now.
I wish that he... I don't know why. The only thing I would say is I wish there was a little bit more, also detail with the shoes. That's the only
Why?
thing.
Because it looks like you're wearing lovers?
Yeah.
Are we gonna do our 1 or 2 small critiques to each one of our drawings, as well as complimenting the crap out of them because
I
they're
love
amazing?
it. It's perfect. I've never had anybody animate me like that, and I love it so much. Don't get me wrong, London. It's just, there's always critiques. That's like, people have critiques of my stories. That's the one thing. If there is more detail to shoes.
We know there's a group of friends that just complains a lot, so this is not untraditional of us.
Mm-hmm.
I think I mentioned this last stream. Is her boobs are a little bigger than I thought they're gonna be, but I'm okay with it. Good for Rainn. Good for every person she's ever slept with. Good for the 300 guys. Yeah. There's 2 different answers there.
Andy, Oliver.
300 other guys from when she was 18 to now.
The car driver that you're going to get arrested.
Yeah, I haven't messaged him back again.
Just sends a
wait at this time. Very cryptic message. Wait at this time. It sends 100 gold to him. He goes, okay, you had nice tits.
You have time to do that today.
I do have time to send that letter to him.
Mm-hmm.
I have no clue what his name is. I don't remember.
I have to look in your notes or dig through the videos.
I don't think I cared during the videos. I don't remember if Rainn actually decided to remember his name or not.
Well, it's the night after you won.
I know when it happened, Bryan, but I don't remember if in game Rainn was just like, never gonna see him again, and just decided to not remember his name.
Well, you have mentioned in game a few times, I have a cart driver to call.
I have said that,
you've
but
had that as a plan in game, I think.
Yeah, I know, but I don't remember actually in game said she even remembers what his name was when they were having sex because she was very drunk.
I hate that we're in a live stream right now because I want to just watch the video and be like, all right, I need answers now. What did
we'll do
you
that
say?
after the set, after we finish DisasterCast.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be after the set. So yeah,
because that guy, that would be hilarious. All the things that you have lined up for a possible escape with this heist, Seabreeze has a secret invisible entrance that his patron has shown him. You have the Duna platform that has 2 uses for an hour each that you can use on your own that Torian has. Try to sneak out normally.
Just leave normally.
Go across the chain. There's so many different ways that this can go. I love how you're leave normally because everything's gonna be fine.
No.
As the DM being
No. That's not to leave that everything's gonna be fine. It's just we're just gonna leave the party on a Duna platform and just be like, well, there's no problem. Guys, Bryan, Duna platform. They don't have radios. They can't radio and be like, hey, the people you have, totally fucking criminals. Walkie-talkies are a thing. Yeah, then that would be a poor plan. Mm-hmm. But once we leave the gala, if no one tells that guard.
Locate object. Sending.
That is true. They in theory can do that. But at that point, we shove the guard off the fucking Duna platform. Dustin's like, he's gonna be falling for the next 10.
High level wizards with the fly spell.
I have a feeling that the people who fly the Duna platforms are not wizards. I have a feeling they are guards that are low ranking and their job is to fly the Duna platform. They're unimportant people.
I hate my life.
Yeah, I have a feeling there are people. They'd be like Rainn would be like, I'll offer you 30 gold to not care. And he'd be like, sounds like a fucking deal.
They gave me the shit end of the stick tonight.
Where do you need to go? I'll fly you further for 30. Flies past us, drops us off in some building. Robbery is a thing that works. Rainn has a fuck ton of money right now. I have 500 gold. I have way more gold than I should have. And
Bryan Maines always has so much gold, though. I think he has the most gold out of
yeah,
everyone.
he broke the system. His character has a full-time job as a fucking prostitute.
It's funny how like getting a job in D&D is not something you normally think of, but like you get the right job. I mean, like steady income.
Well, Rainn's had jobs like that, but they bore her because she's in like repetitive tasks.
Have you ever worked at a shop like a bookstore or something like that?
Yeah, she's had tons of jobs.
How would she be at a bookstore? I feel like she would be reading and she'd be the
She
person
would
who-
read
you
it.
know, where they're just like, hello?
She would-
Hello?
that would be
I'm
why-
trying to buy a book.
I was about to say that's probably why she didn't last very long there. But she just got distracted.
Huh? Oh, sorry.
Sure. She probably multiple times the cash register didn't jive for whatever the like books she wrote down was bought. They're like, you're missing 30 gold. And she's like, I was busy. Free books.
Dude, you have an excellent selection of books here. Starts like complimenting them, trying to sweet talk them into keeping the job.
Yeah, no, Rainn's definitely had. She's better. She's done better jobs like hostesses and stuff like that because it's more personality based.
Mhm.
Therefore, she has to pay attention a little more, and she likes doing that. But she's had lots of jobs. She's been a waitress. She's been. I'm sure she's even been a call girl for a time. Like I'm like an escort. I wouldn't be surprised. She's a person who's done a lot of jobs. When you're poor, you find work.
Mm-hmm.
It's that or starve.
And she's had conversations.
And she's a very skilled
Beating
person.
around the bush of these odd jobs several times in session too. I love the Martathas Manor session. There's a lot of interesting moments of dialogue in that session.
Well, it's because it's
Delta.
the fun of political theater of why Rainn is a fun character. One of the reasons she's a fun character is because she's a person who has lots of life experience, but honestly cannot tell people what her life experience is because about 40% of it's completely illegal. And then probably another 25% is like maybe illegal, depending on who you told. And then the rest is like she's had real legal jobs, but there's a whole bunch of not legal stuff she's done. Half of the piercings she has on her face were stolen.
It just comes to Pierce right here. Okay, cool. All right, didn't steal it.
No, she has it done professionally
Mm.
by her tattoo artist in what the hell, piercing art? I don't know what the fuck the term is.
I didn't know if she would go down to like the Underzista and do all those like sketchy shops and stuff
No,
like
she
that.
does it to the sadistic half orc.
Oh, the Affleck does piercings too?
Yeah.
Okay, gotta
She's a-
write that down.
She's a body modification shop.
Sorry, more things that Conlan has written down.
You give me permission to do this. This is not my
are
fault.
in
100%.
my world, and I'm like, okay.
Wait, that's not a huge important detail though.
Mm-hmm.
It's only important detail for like in that section of the city. Like, oh yeah, that's the shop that Knock is next to. That's the only time it would become important.
You know what? Sorry, I started a sentence and then I started chewing.
Yeah, real fucking polite. We're gonna put Naresh up now.
Shit, spaghetti brain. Thoughts. Fuck. Okay, talk about Naresh. That thought will come back to me.
I've saying about me destroying your world by writing too much.
Oh. Oh yeah. Yes. So,
It worked.
fuck, I'm gonna forget again. No. Okay, I got it. I was thinking, one of my favorite shows growing up was One Piece. I loved it, and at the end of one arc, to show they were friends for to show they were the real person, because somebody could steal their identity. They all got tattoos of X's on the back of their hand. The end of the series that showed that they were friends forever, and I was just like, aw. So I was thinking, what about if after this heist, as everything's about to break up, one little connecting moment after? I feel like Andy would love to get a tattoo with everybody.
I don't think we're gonna get tattoos. I
I
think
know you're not. I know it's probably gonna be like Andy and Seabreeze's like, yeah, let's get a
Rainn
tattoo.
has tattoos for previous groups she's been part of.
Mm-hmm.
On her ankle, which was not in there's other like small detail that like London forgot, which is super not important. We can do in later editions, so it's not end of the world. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is she has a tattoo on her ankle from the group she was with Victoria. They all had matching tattoos on their ankle.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a little sunset going under like behind the waves. They're all matching tattoos.
So maybe you guys need a symbol for the lucky sink.
Yeah, I have a picture on my phone that me and Vicky have been working on designs. Well, Vicky's been working on designs. Vicky is the better artist than me.
Do you think in game, who would be the artist to actually come up with that design?
Andy's artful.
I'm just saying, like, because in the main campaign, Kyron did it. Kyron was inside the dungeon. But, like,
it would be
since you guys haven't come up with it yet, obviously this is something that somebody was probably doing in the background of moments and things like that.
I think.
So do you think it would be you with the notebook or Andy with drawing skills?
Andy's probably been doodling, but hasn't figured out something that he likes. Or the feeling he'll ask Rainn eventually and be like, I wonder if we should have like some kind of symbol. And Rainn would be like, that like some.
I got some concepts here. Then Rainn being like, all right, combine that one and that one.
Because what we did was the design that we have so far is it's Lucky Sink, but one of the but the letters are done like in Elven, and it looks really interesting. Because we figured out the Elven letters for it.
You literally wrote the entire thing.
No. It's just two letters. I have it on my phone somewhere. I'm not looking for it. It's gonna take too long. I don't know where it is.
There's something special, really, about like finalizing that with a group, like having a look, like the face of the group, like when you complete a job. Oh, it was the Lucky Sink and stuff like that. A little logo brand.
I have a feeling we're not going to. Rainn really doesn't want a brand name that she was ever involved in this endeavor. So that's
everyone else would be like, "Fuck yeah!" I feel like even Delson would be like,
"Cool." Well,
like,
Delson,
I'll put it under the hood.
Rainn would be like, "You should not." Like, immediately, she's a person like in my little head canon of like future them, where Rainn would have everyone who is directly loyal to her, regardless of their like. So in my head canon, like how everyone's just like in theory, all of the families and houses and whatnot are supposed to be loyal to the queen.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, they're really loyal to themselves. The queen is just a useful entity to keep around. So they just choose not to do that. They all chose to be like, fuck the queen. They could do that, but like, not worth it. Not worth it. She's useful. And I'm very sure...
I'd like to see people try to uprise against the queen.
You have the whole city do it. It's not that hard. Throw out the fucking stained glass windows at the top of the tower. If you're being beaten to death by 1,000 people, Bryan, guess what? You die. But not important. That's not the important bit. Is like, but I'm very sure those families have people who are directly loyal to them. They're still loyal to the kingdom, but they hold their secrets of things that they definitely do aren't legal. And Rainn would definitely do the similar thing, but she would tattoo each of them right behind the ear in a place that's just barely visible. If you're looking, you'd see it. There's a little raindrop.
You would need a 20 investigation check on somebody's.
Yeah. It sounded like that. Like if you were like standing behind them, you might notice it, but you would probably only notice like one or two people that have it and be like, oh, that's odd. Like you would never sit there and notice every guard like in her estate has it because they're directly loyal to Rainn and will do lose their lives for it.
Rainn gets a tattooed logo for the Lucky Sink, and one day in the future when she meets Brackett asks, "Oh, what's that tattoo for?" "Oh, that's a fucking story and a half."
He does not go, I'm not going to play Brackett. Be like, what's that tattoo? She's like, I do not have time. Why do you have wings in your back? Okay, that one I'll explain. That one immediately deserves answers to the Asmar boy. He's probably a little annoyed. I was really into Xylia for a while, and a lot of Asmar. She's like, I get it. He's like, that symbology makes sense in my brain. Asmars, Xylia, fair, light in time.
So for the going back to what we were trying to talk about with our actual characters and everything.
Naresh.
We have Naresh up on the screen. We've had him up there for probably 10 minutes now.
He has been 10 minutes, but we're easily distracted.
I love how everything, like the way London designed it with everything flowing to one side, like the wind's blowing his hair and the jacket off to the side. He's got that V-neck with the deep V, like it's so deep.
I want to if Rainn ever gets to meet Naresh, I need dice. I want to roll really, really high investigation and just be like, does he look like a fucking vampire? And I just want you to be like, you can't just ask that directly. Cool. I want to investigate if he looks weird and familiar. Because Rainn's met vampires. Both not knowing they're vampires and knowing they're vampires. Because they travel to the Undersister, so Rainn is aware they do exist. So she's met vampires and people who have vampiric, vibes.
Mm-hmm.
So she would have some idea.
Unofficial role.
Yes, this is an unofficial role. I would do it in
Who?
The world said, nah, he's not a vampire, fam.
Hey, this looks like a really, really, dark elf heritage boy.
Actually, with investigation, it'd be like a 8.
Ooh.
No, it still wouldn't pass the check. That wasn't the point.
The funniest detail about Naresh that I think people miss in there. Do you know what I'd be thinking?
What?
The fucking.
What, the fact that he's carrying a coffin or the plate?
The plate.
Oh, I forgot it's an actual plate. I keep thinking it's like a steel plate, and I always forget it's actually just a fucking plate.
Yep. it's a
ceramic plate.
Unbreakable reforms. Best beginning of the campaign item I fucking came up with. I love it.
Sorry, it's a +7, so it's a 9. Still would not pass that check. Still would not. I can't remember I rolled that low. That sucks. I haven't used those dice in forever, though.
They hate you. They hated you.
That's a D12, so that doesn't count.
5, 11.
That's also
by
a
the way,
D12.
Also, spaghetti brain. One time during the pandemic, Conlan and I decided to roll so many dice to see what.
During the pandemic, is that before the pandemic?
That was like the first time we hung out after the pandemic started.
I swear that happened before the pandemic.
I'm pretty sure it was happening right in March, like around that point.
Might be right before the pandemic.
Maybe we should stop hanging out, like things are closing down.
That sounds more believable.
But we found out the most common number rolled is 14.
Yes.
Which is so strange because that is my favorite number.
That is neat. And Naresh is perfect. He did a perfect job in Naresh. But the fact that none of us realized immediately he's a fucking vampire means we're all stupid.
I love how that's everybody's thought when we first saw it. Everybody looked at it and be like, wow, it looks so good. How did we not know? How did no one know?
Everyone's perception roll is just dumb low.
Everybody has super disadvantage on their insight rolls.
Yeah, against him.
What can I say? I'm just beautiful.
You have to face against his charisma modifiers, and that's the problem.
It's so great that he's not a bard that sleeps around, because that's the normal concept of a bard. Just this person who sings, and as a lot of TikTok would say, fucks dragons and stuff like that. But Callumn made a bard that was actually about the arts and
he's also
love.
He's also super self-conscious. So he doesn't only has the gusto, and that's not the right word. Fuck, I've forgotten what that word I'm looking for is. He doesn't have that fuck, I hate myself that I can't think of this word. Fuck, I'm so dumb. He doesn't have that feeling that he is the best. He doesn't have the ego or whatnot. I know what word I want, and I just cannot get it out.
Halfway through the stream at the end,
yeah.
Fuck this word.
Yeah, I'm gonna scream it, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, I got it." Not yet. Mm-hmm. You won't, because it'll be a half hour after the conversation was had.
Yeah, I miss the deep conversations that Naresh would have, that you guys would have at campfires. I loved that part of season 1 of our stream.
Also, it's less stressful to write.
The long rests, just you guys going there, starting a fire, and just, hey, you two go on watch. Hey, you two go on watch, and just seeing what you guys talk about together.
So this is something I talked to Vicky about that has somewhat to do with that. Because we've had this conversation. I'm just going to keep on harassing you about this until magically it's made canon. This is what I'm just going to do. Which is the fun concept of the Rainn and Chiron being related thing. It's a concept, isn't it? It's not real. Guys, it's not real. It's not canon.
You want this so bad.
I think it'd be so fun. That concept of finding lost family, especially for Rainn, someone who has no family right now.
Oh, but they would fucking hate each other.
That's what's fun. Well, that's what's fun is initially, for a while, they probably would butt heads like crazy, but it'd be interesting if they got stuck on a mission with each other. Whether it be somehow getting separated from the group because of something happening or whatnot, and they're forced to survive with each other. Mm-hmm. They'd realize how much they have in common. Because they have so much in common in terms of their trauma, their thoughts on people, all that. They're very in common.
I'm seeing this as an episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah.
everything's been super serious towards like the mission of the book, and then there's just one episode where like two characters branch off for a second. It's like, what's going on?
Well, but it'd be a serious one. It'd be more like, I think it'd be more like the Zuko Katara episode, where
Mhm.
like it's deep and it's serious instead of like
We're here to get you revenge for the people who killed your parents.
yeah, like that. Both of them have that problem.
Wait, no, I'm helping you. No, I'm
I'm
helping
helping
you.
you. We probably both have issues. Both of them looking at each other. Yeah, because it would be had like the cute moment. Like I can imagine that. I just have this cute moment that that I've had in my head that I imagine them like being by like a really crap campfire because neither of them have they both have survivor skills, but they're not Jinrash. They're not the guy who makes the big fire and goes, "Yeah, I'm going to cook all of us dinner. I'm
gonna dig a hole this way so we can have the fire this way and the oxygen cook this way
perfectly, so that way no one will see it either from far away." They don't have that level of like skill. They have enough skill to survive. And like imagining them like huddled in a crappy wet blanket as it's drizzling out. They don't know how to build a shelter. They can't. So they're doing their best with their bedrolls and what crap they have with them. Them huddling by a fire.
Kyron would mold earth and try to make like this
Oh, no,
hut out of dirt.
I'd imagine that would be like they would build like a very not great thing out from her molding earth and some sticks and stuff they found, but it would not be an ideal like because neither of them are that survivalist. They know how to survive, but they've been pampered. Look at me honest. Even though Kyron is a nature person, she's been pampered her entire life. She is the closest thing to nobility in terms of a child in Nyra's Grove. Like her father is an important member of the.
I've lived a blissful life.
Yeah, she's lived a perfect like. Besides her losing her mother,
until her mother went away and disappeared.
But even still, like comparative to some
she
people,
also has those small tragic moments of being a child when the blood-burnt battle took
that is. I didn't say she didn't have trauma, Brian. I just said that she lived a privileged life.
Looping back to Naresh, the one who killed her grandfather and carried her away to safety in his moment of gaining his freedom from the vampiric.
See, look, we all bring it back. But no, it'd be so cute to have that moment and Rainn to like pull out the book of like the tales from Nyra's Grove, and like it'd be so cute. It would be so cute to them to like to talk about the stories that they both heard, and maybe begin clicking some of those pieces of talking about each other. That's how I want them to learn. It's like one of those things where we're just talking and they begin learning things they know about their family that begin to like web. And they're like, that's really odd. And then like Kyron be like, yeah, my father talked about like my his cousin, blah blah blah. She left Azista when she was a kid. They met up when he went to the monastery a couple times, but he hasn't seen her since. And we're like, how old is she? Because it'd be neat. It'd be cute. I think it'd be a fun role play thing that'd be very cute between those two characters. I think it'd be very fun for me and Aisha to play as two people who are already best friends have our characters become friends.
True.
That's a fun thing to play.
Yeah.
To re-find friendship as a different person, but with someone you love already. That's why I think it's cute. That's the real reason I really think it's cute. Is like that family bond the two of them could have would be very adorable. It'd be very fun to role play with Asia.
Yeah, dude. I plan to do these stories for the rest of my life with you guys in a way, so we got so much time.
Oh yeah, I know. That's why I'm like, I keep on thinking these great ideas. I'm like, this isn't gonna happen for 10 years.
I'm gonna be in my 40s by the time this happens.
Yeah, like I have these ideas, and I'm like, I'm gonna forget about that, which is good because I'm gonna talk about this DisasterCast 19. We're gonna DisasterCast 200, and none of you can remember. None of you.
That's right. I love doing these things because it's like visual records of what.
It's a status update. Even regardless if we never become popular, we have.
I can go back and see where I was at certain points.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what makes it fun. We're gonna now go to
Knock and Vane,
our ranger, who me and Vicky determined that we think Rainn and Knock would become best friends for the same reason that Kyron and Knock are best friends. Rainn and Kyron are nearly the same person. They just have different issues about them. Rainn has more of a power.
Knock would be like, okay, we're gonna deal with those issues.
Yeah, because Rainn. So they've opposite beliefs about power that they've been forced into dealing with. Because Kyron, at least I don't know if we've talked about it or not in session. At least this is my opinion or my feel. Is she's eventually going to have to be a council member because her dad's a council member. Like I have this feeling that there's like this expectation that.
Oh, this hasn't been said, so little behind the scenes extra for those who watch this DisasterCast. The Archdruid wants Chiron to be the next Archdruid.
Yeah. I have this feeling that Chiron has all this expectation on her, and she wants fucking none of it.
I just want to like kiss a pretty boy.
Want to kiss pretty
become an
boys
animal.
and like run with the squirrels. Like that's all I want to do.
And they want me to be this
Druid.
Archdruid.
Want me to be in charge of Nyra's Grove.
Move the jar over to the jar preservation
I
simulation.
do things.
Then have to return it. So much work.
Yeah, she doesn't want to do things. And Rainn is the opposite, like flip side of like that being born into like some kind of power. Rainn desires more of it. Like she has a huge drive to be like, I want more. Like she hasn't fully grasped why she like tries to grab for leadership.
Rainn and Chiron would love to switch lives. Can we Freaky Friday them?
No, because Rainn wants to be powerful in the city.
Role playing a Freaky Friday.
That would be very hard. I honestly,
you having
I
to
could
pretend,
play.
you having to pretend to be Rainn, pretending to be Chiron,
Oh, that'd be hard.
and then
They could pull that off, though.
Chiron pretending to be Rainn.
They would just both be very snarky, and everyone would be like, "Why are they being bitches?" That would happen, and they'd both be like, "Are we being too mean?" And we're like, "Probably."
Are we supposed to have a lesson? Is this how we return back here?
Because we're not going to.
Whoever's doing this,
realistically,
which is permanent now, apparently.
Have you seen us?
So fuck it. Let's go back to clerics. They can greater restoration.
They can solve. This. Yeah, they can solve it. But oh man, I've talked too much now. My voice is beginning to feel hoarse. But yeah, they both have interesting like their life stories are similar in some ways, and then they have different beats also. But they're very. That's why they both would become friends. That's why they're both so close.
Why would Nock?
This is Vicky has said this.
Mm-hmm.
This is Vicky's words, not my words. We talked about this a little bit last podcast, I think. And it's because she vibes with Chiron so well. She's a feeling that because Rainn and Chiron's personalities are very similar in terms of like their overarching personality. If you want to like bundle it, they're very similar people in terms of they're snarky. They speak their mind. They're very blunt. They get their point across immediately, and they have similar beliefs of like goodness and people and whatnot. So like I feel like Nock would be like, oh, awesome. Also, Nock would love all of Rainn's like archery skills. She's like, because she has like the steady aim. Nock would be like, you must teach me this. You must.
In all honesty, yeah,
it's possible. It just
probably,
would take a long time.
Yeah, it would have to be a learned skill.
Yeah,
that's the cool thing I like as a DM.
I love that you chose to do that. Cause it's my favorite thing.
Try to do something, train for it. It's the level up system. We all grew on things like this in video games.
So why can't
we put certain stats to train in different?
So why can't we in D&D like grab skills that other
that the other classes have?
I forgot the word classes for a second.
That's why I love in Humblewood. In Humblewood, there was a new bard class called College of Roads. It's somebody who studied and traveled, and through interactions at like campfires with other travelers and inns and taverns and things like that, they pick up skills from other classes.
Can you grab me the cough drops that's sitting on that table? I just need one because my voice is beginning to get hoarse. Thank you. No, they're open. No. Now there's cough drops on the floor. I really didn't want you to do that.
I had to test your reaction.
It had nothing to do with me catching it. I was just like,
really low dexterity.
Yes, but either way, I still didn't even want to try and catch them because they were open. I'm like, don't throw them, they're open.
Oh, God.
They're closed. I'd play the game of, sure, I'll try and catch it and look stupid on stream, but if it's open, if I miss, I'm going to spray fucking cough drops. I know, but then
it's on the internet forever.
I know, but then I'm going to spray cough drops everywhere, and that's annoying.
It takes 10 seconds to clean it up.
I didn't want to. I'm lazy.
We're fucking hilarious together.
I think we're hilarious. I don't know.
I don't think anybody else does. We have
our
viewers, which is us.
Honestly, it probably is. I think there's at least one version of the stream on this computer.
That's why I like that. I go back and watch some of these things. You don't like your voice, but these are our memories together.
I never argued that. I just don't like my voice. But and then Vane the giant owl.
Moving back to D&D, yeah, I love the color scheme of this entire
It's the
artwork.
best.
Everything is just so good. Even the little bit of green from Nock works in well with all the rest of the brown and like auburn red being the core colors. And even Rainn's eyes as well.
Like, 'cause this is about where we do for their headshots for DisasterCast. But like,
I love how Vicky also wanted it to be animated of her whistling because she can't whistle in real life. So she's like, I can do it. Nock can do it.
what's funny is this picture, like in terms of image size, is so goddamn giant. Like, Rainn's like image's size is like there.
Also, Vayne doing the dab.
I guess technically Rainn is dabbing.
Vayne is fucking dabbing. I didn't even ask London to do that.
I don't think that's
Dab.
purposeful.
Dab.
I will message
Dab.
him later.
Dab.
I'm 90% sure that's not purposeful.
What happened to the dab?
Only Tomska does it. If you want.
Dab! Oh no, Asia did it. Okay, okay, let's be honest. First real in-person session again after
Asia's
being
gonna
done.
dab.
Asia's gonna be back in camera and just
Unless it's gone out for system, I have no clue.
If Asia, the day Asia stops dabbing, I don't want to reach that day.
I mean, like the sadness in your throat that came there too. And I was like, oh, okay. We'll see what happens on Memorial Day weekend. We'll all see each other. That's the goal.
Next.
Our stabby boy. Beautiful
Bracket.
stabby boy.
Yeah. The shield, London originally designed it longer, no, smaller. He designed it a lot smaller than that, and I was like, it needs to be a little bit bigger.
He is pretty decent sized
And
guy.
then the way he increased the size, perfect.
Yeah.
I love that size.
It's so good.
Bracket also had really good color scheme coordination. Again, even the green, which is out of place to everything else.
It sometimes isn't.
It just works well with the brown and the tan surrounding it.
It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
I love our beautiful boy.
Yeah, like this came out really well.
He's such a beautiful boy.
I love that you're going to be changing his accent when you go back to him. What? I'm Bracket. I talk a little deeper now. No, you didn't, Bracket. You didn't talk like this before.
No, you talk like Conlan Patrick Rose, which I don't even sound like me right now because my voice is shot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm going to go just a little bit, not a lot of it, just a little bit deeper. I'm going to emphasis on the little bit deepness.
Imagine.
Just going to get a little more sultry.
Imagine if there was a joke that you wanted to tell as soon as you woke up in the morning as Bracket. Just like you've been wanting to tell this joke as Raid for several sessions, and it's been over a year, and you're just like, I need to tell.
I'm happy if I did have one. It's long gone from my brain. I luckily only have another month to wait for the Rainn one, and that one will be worth it. And I hope I don't forget it right before session.
You're gonna write it down.
It's not gonna be written down because then one of you will see it, and you'll be. I don't want you to see it. Yo, our boy.
Hey,
Jahi. I haven't seen you in forever, dude. It's since probably before the pandemic. Oh, that sucks. That makes me.
If you are vaccinated, man, we gotta get like on a Memorial Day hangout, or if we are doing something for summer this year.
We will be trying to do something for summer this year. I don't know what we're gonna do. Like Memorial Day, I want it to be not too big, just because it is like the first time we're all getting together, so we don't want to go like, oh, we're all vaccinated. That's all like 300 people show up at my house.
No. No, I'm not.
Okay, well.
That's something.
Begin working on it. That's all you can do.
I literally had to because I just went to a wedding in San Diego. So
yeah, no, it made sense.
The funny thing about that, though, is it says, oh, you need to get vaccinated. The airport is going to check your vaccination card.
No, they did not. It was in the state.
Make sure you're good.
No,
I literally read the thing. It said, no matter any flight, you need to have that record. And then nothing. They didn't ask anything.
Well, it's because everyone's wearing masks.
But, yeah, I know. It's just funny. I was getting email warnings just saying, like, oh, you need to bring this. You need to get a COVID test before. And nothing at all. But, yeah, man. Sometime in July, we're thinking of having it, if possible, another one of our parties that we used to
It will not
have.
be as big as it has been in past years. It'll probably only be 15 max. That's weird to say max 15 people, but like that's light for us because we've had like 25 people in my house and been like, fuck.
But Jahi, I can definitely challenge you to another game of giant Jenga.
It is sitting in the corner, ready to go.
Jahi? We can build the tower again. I know how much stress that gave you. I'm so sorry.
Oh man,
That was a fun game. Oh my god.
No, it's weird when you first hang out with people after like this. It feels really awkward. It feels so weird.
We used to hang out so often with our friends, like even the ones like every once in a while. It still was like once a month. Every once in a while was like once a month.
Yeah, or at least like maybe every 2 months or whatever.
I should have won that Jenga game, dude. You just have to become one with
Who won?
the
Did you
bricks.
win? Were you very proud of yourself?
Yes.
Yeah,
We got the tower taller than
yeah, it
Casey.
was taller than Casey. It was getting like to the point where like, okay, how are we gonna keep stacking these?
Dude, we need to get it to the height of Jahi. We need.
I don't think that's mathematically possible unless you all do outsides.
We need to just keep on adding Jenga blocks.
You have to only do outside pieces. You can't. You
And
can't.
we gotta make Jenga a little bit taller, like maybe add like 6 more rows.
We
that
can
get up
buy
there.
some 2x4s. We just have to make sure they're not twisted.
We need to raise the stakes this year. We need to do flaming giant Jenga.
No.
Try to get that like there's like this foam that is.
I know what you're
fire
talking about,
resistant.
but still, Brian, we're not doing that. That's a dumb choice.
But hey, content.
We're not doing that.
You know how many views we would get?
We would get.
You know how many views we would
We
get?
would get picked up by the algorithm and then immediately demonetized. That's exactly what would happen because it's dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, but he did such a good job in Bracket. Bracket and Rainn are they're gonna make beautiful kids.
I love how he wants to have both of his characters have children together.
Hey,
And then he will probably also play his children?
I know I won't. I don't give a shit what they're doing. I care about the two characters. I want Rainn to live forever.
I have to try to be the child for children
Of
to you
yeah.
and you?
Good luck, Brian. Making them NPCs. I don't need to play them. I'll play them if you want, but you want me voicing 6 characters? No, you don't. I'll sound even crazier than I already do sound. I don't even know how I'm going to modulate multiple female voices.
Oh, God.
And
Kyron, the one that started it all.
I think we also still have Jinrash left.
Jinrash came after Kyron.
I know, but not in the list of this because this is the updated, adjusted art for Kyron, which happened just after Jinrash was done. Because
this was the first show of what London can do for us. I like that.
And it blew us away.
It really did. And the fact that he had multiple versions, like magic, no magic, dirt, no dirt. He put all the details she wanted. He got the ukulele in there, got like a larger strip of her leather armor on the corner for her grandfather's. Got the dagger, which is super fucking skinny, but like, hey, it's still
it's there. That's what matters. That's just his style.
Cool. Mm-hmm. And again, just the color just works so well together. Even the dress, like, I don't know, he's so good at putting color coordination together with outfits.
You know, it's an interesting little fact.
What?
That Kyron will always live up forever. Kyron is 4 inches. Because isn't Kyron like 5'6"? She's the same height as Asia, right?
Yeah. She's taller than Rainn.
Yeah, Rainn's 5'2". Rainn's short as hell. She's like, what, shorty? She's gonna do it all the time. Even though Rainn always wears, like, something that's heels. So people might not always notice she's very short.
She'll never get quite to Kyron's height.
The heels that she's wearing for the gala are 4-inch heels.
Mm-hmm.
So she'd be the same height as Kyron.
Yeah, you can see Kyron's lifted a little in the back by like an inch or so.
Yeah.
Her, so,
but not that much. But like, it'd be like close enough where it'd be like, okay. And also, Rainn is very big hair.
Dude, I feel like Rainn would bring out the privilege kind of in Kyron. I feel like if she knew what Rainn wanted about her power and everything, she would have that relationship like, I'm the daughter of one of the council members. I fucking have all my privilege still.
Yeah.
I have all my power. You know, so she doesn't even care too much about it, but I think that she would make fun.
Out of the current group, Bracket cares more about Kyron's privilege than anyone else does.
Why do you say that?
Because it's a title. She's the daughter of one of the head councilmen at Narrows Grove. That's an important position. He directly interacts with the guard and works with the guard to make decisions at this time of war. Like, he's very important right now, but like politically actually in the structure of Zista's kingdom. Like, he's actually in the power structure. Like, he's important. He's in the top, 100 people in the entirety of the kingdom.
Second after that would probably be Jinrash, because even though he is fallen
already. Same thing. Absolutely. It's a similar kind of deal.
Which?
We can go to him.
Jinrash
is super important. He's actually literally the most important member of not in terms of story.
I was
reasons.
supposed to be the leader in charge of the greatest lumber producer in the entire region.
Yeah.
He would be a die if he lived in Zista.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious to think that Jinrash would be a die.
He's super important,
Die
super
Southeast.
powerful. He's rich as hell. He's by far the wealthiest of all of us.
And he uses it with a drinking problem.
Yeah, he just buys alcohol.
The characters Rainn has created
I love every
are
one of them.
hilarious. Jinrash, who has the drinking problem.
We have the mafia boss who is... That's essentially how he played Briar. Is it's just like, because I think he wore a suit even.
Mm-hmm. And he set things on fire. He was no longer a Dragonborn, but he still set things on fire.
That was more accidental than anything. He didn't know there was hay down there. He's like, I'm going to drop the torch. And we're like, you sure you're going to drop it? We all asked that to him. You sure? He's like, yeah. Brian, it falls in hay. We all go, oh my god.
That was the most fun moment to DM in the whole pandemic, probably. Just, all right, so the vineyard catches on fire. Is there any water? No.
Also, by the way, no one's watered this place in a couple decades.
Oh, by the way, there's vine monsters still walking all around, and it's getting very bright over here.
And hot. Good luck. Hope you can breathe still. Like,
you're not like Jinrash. You're not resistant to fire damage.
Like, that's the dumbest thing he's ever done. To light a fire in dried hay that used to be like the bedding for this cage. Where there's more hay everywhere because over time it's blown around and stuff like that. So now it's mixed within the dried out bushes.
And the bushes that have been overgrown and gone into the cage.
Yeah, they're into the cage and they're still dried out because they have just enough water to survive, but not enough to thrive. So they're not green, they're not wet, they're very dried out branches. So they just lit instantly. And then a whole bunch of alcohol lit on fire.
Yeah.
It's a moron.
If you guys,
I love that they went. I love that bracket. I love that Greg's like, I'm not going down there, and they're like, oh, we're gonna go save everything. And Greg's like, what is there to save?
It's on fire. It's all gone.
What are you gonna do? Immediately they jump in. You guys are beginning to take burning damage. Oh shit, we're out.
So if you haven't seen this, so Jahi, our Humblewood campaign.
Oh, it was so fun. It was chaos.
Go episode 9 and then 10 into the finale. Awesome. And the one we were just talking about was
8.
9.
I thought 8 was when he lit the thing on fire.
I don't think so, because, I mean...
I don't remember how long our sessions were back then.
No, I think you guys set it on fire, then you stayed in these lower levels for like another hour just to get a short rest, but then you went into the boss battle, because that was there was the teleportation from the garden.
No, you must be right. You must be right.
Yeah. Even back then, you guys split the goddamn party. But then again, I did that to you. It was the fucking...
no, you made that choice.
The rug of smothering.
Yeah, you made that. That was on you. You split the party initially.
I mean, hey, you need to split the party in a murder house.
No. That was appropriate. And also, it's not like we had such open-ended choices there. So it's not that bad. It's not like in Zista City, where it's a city. There's a billion choices that you can do. Dude. You can choose to go eat lunch. Or you can choose to kill a random citizen. Or you can go gambling. There's so many options that there's too many and that stresses you out. That's what's made this campaign hard. That's why you've taken the pause, besides the fact that you also need to work on yourself, is like, I can see the struggle of, hey, how many options do we have? Yes. The answer is yes. And then we split the party into 3 different groups.
Yep.
4 groups now. Thanks.
Thanks, Seabreeze and Andy. Oh my god. This whole day. We'll get it done. We'll get it done.
Oh, we will. We will finish the heist, and then we're going to go to the main campaign.
Because
we're not going to reach the main campaign till October, Brian. I hope you know that, right?
The funny thing is that I have leveled this heist campaign to basically it needs to be completed before going back to the main campaign.
No, it has to.
Because whatever happens in this heist is greatly affecting how
I was going to mention this.
Looks.
If we did our announcement video, I was going to mention that. We have to finish the heist campaign. Even if we wanted to do the main campaign again, we can't do it because in 2 sessions in the main campaign we will be in Zista most likely, based on their traveling efficiency is dramatically greater than Lucky Six. Also, we don't want
They
to
have a cart. They have a cart.
We have a cart,
and
and we're not going to
horses.
split. And we're not going to split the party.
Mhm. We're party together. We don't split up.
Also, we got that lesson super early.
People will die.
Yeah, well, we got that lesson super early because we almost lost a party member because
When's
of our.
the first time that you had that issue? So, first time that the party had to split. Well, you guys were a little discombobulated in the fight with the water elemental, but you guys still stayed pretty localized. When you guys had to fight the vine blights and the needle blights in the forest when you were heading from Naira's Grove,
That wasn't bad even.
That wasn't bad, but Kyron severely separated from the party,
Yep.
and she's like, "Why is it coming up to me?" I'm like, "Because you're the only one there. You're actively staying away from everybody else in the party. Of course, everything's going to attack you."
No, I was thinking about the first time we chose to split the party, which was in the dungeon.
Yes, that is where it really started.
That's what we learned. That's what we learned. When that flame skull showed up, it was Bracket and Kyron. Bracket, who can handle that? But Kyron's like, dicks.
Oh, we are in a hallway. Oh, this thing can do fire
Fireball.
spells, including
just
fireball.
And just send it down the hallway at us. Just flying.
Are we dodging this? We're not
dodging this. Yeah, where we're gonna go? We're in a hallway.
And the whole party had to fucking hightail it around to get to where.
Yeah, we were cut off from them.
Then when you guys went to go take your rest, and you heard some noises outside during your rest, so Jinrash, Naresh, and Vane separated the party. Jinrash and Naresh getting way in over their fucking heads in that hallway. Vane rushing back to get you guys, and then you having to rush down there. That was also a close call, which was immediately followed by the vampire.
Yeah.
On the wall. You cut the ankles off of you, dick.
I did not make this choice.
All the girls left the room. The guys were like, "Let's do it. She can't walk." Like,
we were worried.
Understandably, however, fucked up.
I never argued it wasn't. Never, right?
That poor girl. Nobody knows her backstory exactly. Sad.
Brian, you have like 300 characters that none of us know the backstories of yet. Oh, is that too rude? I don't care.
It's whenever she would laugh and cry all the time.
Sometimes
it's
you
the
do.
most disturbing thing.
Yeah, Asia didn't like that. It made her uncomfortable.
Yeah, and then that whole dungeon, I loved the horror that I could put in there.
It was a lot.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the acid fucking man.
Yeah. So I have a feeling, depending if Rainn does get to meet the Misfit Warriors eventually, she's probably the first person to put together the issues with the acid people, because she has the information from Andy, because Andy told her the whole dealio of what happened. I believe that was said. We didn't say it. We didn't re-explain it, but yeah. And
she's such a fun character.
And obviously she knows some of the issues with Paul, and she's going to learn more today. Next time we play. About like his association with the curse. Then she'll meet the Misfits, and they'll tell her probably about the one in the dungeon. And then she'll learn that Kyron's cursed, and she'll be like,
"Dicks."
No, she's gonna tell Kyron, "Don't do what it says." And she's like, "But I'll bring my mom back." That's not worth it. And I don't think anyone else can say that to her and be honest. Because everyone else would be like, yeah, probably Kyron's right. Rainn's lost her parents. Mm-hmm. She's the only person who truly knows that feeling.
Asia would not like that.
Oh, it will be a hell of a role. That's probably be their biggest. And like initially, they might butt heads a little bit, just like the minor amount, just because they have similar personalities, and that's just what people do. Mm-hmm. And also, Rainn's a little snooty, so like that would frustrate the crap out of Kyron. Just that little bit, but that would like annoy her a little bit. But Rainn would dead serious be like, "You need to get rid of the dagger." And she would say, "We'll try and find your mom in the future, but whatever things it will grant you to find your mother."
Why don't you guys trust a strange acid entity?
Oh no, maybe because it made 2 other people fucking melt.
They couldn't handle it, okay?
Oh,
He's
yeah.
not a bad guy, okay?
And you think
Fate's favor's fine.
You think Kyron can handle it?
Asia will sass her way through this fucking thing.
Which also means he might just be like, "Fuck it, your insides melt." doesn't seem like a person with
She
patience.
woke up a few times with acid, like just coming out of her nose.
As Rainn would say, it's not worth losing yourself to find your mother. All those others lose themselves.
Rainn never got that power conversation that Paul had with Andy and Serenity that one time. Basically, being somebody who's a human, somebody born with no power, and being gifted it, you grasp at whatever you can get, and you hold on to that tightly.
Yeah, Rainn doesn't get that because he was technically born with it. Born with power.
Somebody like Paul was not born with anything. So.
No. Which is why he grasped it. But Chiron was born with power.
She was born with power, and she even has been being trained to be a druid.
She was born silver spoon in hand.
But there's things that have still always been out of her control. And
Like
then this
losing a
one
mouth, I know.
entity comes and be like, hey.
I understand. Don't act like I don't understand her plight. Don't act like I don't understand. But Rainn gets how important... Because Rainn would do nearly anything to bring her parents back, but is enough of a realist to be like, if my parents showed back up, what would I do about that? Like, it's not going to magically solve anything. They're just going to get murdered again.
Can we talk about the fact that, like, I think, like, even Asia, I think the reason why Asia stuck with the dagger thing so much isn't even 100% all Chiron. I think it's just because she's just like, fuck it, I want to see what he's doing with this.
I noticed also she's curious.
Asia likes my writing a lot.
No, I know she's curious, but Rainn's going to try and be like, it's not worth it.
Asia's just going to be like,
but I think that'll be an interesting dynamic between them for a while. That Rainn's just like, you need to get rid of the damn dagger before it kills you. Before it turns you into a monster. Because, especially, which would be funny, because you're like, Rainn cares? Rainn cares a lot more about everyone than you think.
Believe me, I saw what being a warlock did to a Kenku. It was not pretty.
I saw what power did to Paul.
Seen what power has done to Paul.
No, but I'm going to. But like that includes like Rainn has a lot of experience of how power can corrupt if you don't understand what the other party's asking of you. Like, if you are on the short end of the bargain and you're not in charge of your, like, this bargain, their power and their want for you to gain power will destroy you because you don't have control. You're not in control of the situation. Like, immediately Rainn's talking from a high place because she was born into power that she has had control over, at least when she was a little girl. Now she doesn't. Now she's out of her control, which is something she's struggling with right now. Especially now she's learned she has power, like that potential. There's a bar that she can actually reach. She's here and she has no clue how to get to that bar that she was. This is a bar born at.
She's been.
Well, she wasn't doing that. She didn't know that. Like, she had her in the back of her mind. She's like, maybe that bar exists, but I'll never reach it, or it's not possible. Like, even every once in a while, she'd have moments of feeling like she could, but like people kept knocking her down, constantly making her feel like the whole point of one of her dream sequences. But like, this bar is set. It's there. It's for her. It's waiting for her. She just has to come grab it. She just has no map how to get to the bar. She has to make her own way to that bar that's waiting for her when she gets to it. And it's a very unique form of power.
You want to know something cool?
What's that?
And I'm only telling you this because I love you. I love telling you information that your character will not know, but you can know.
Okay, meta stuff.
Some of your father's stuff, Rainn's father's stuff, was stored in forgotten storage. It can be found in that maze.
Of course they can. Of course, there's family stuff there. They owned a major business.
There is something with that has Rainn's last name.
There's things
printed.
in my headcanon. There are little memorials to her family's death in the Poor Rings that she walks past every day and has no clue because the memorials to her parents, not to her. They don't have a modern bust of Rainn sitting there. No one's guessing what she looks like as an adult. It's a person that looks like her mom and her dad, and she barely remembers what they look like.
Kid statue with them too.
Yeah, and it's not clicking for her. It's one of those things like why, like, she knows that she was like, quote, lost, but until now she hasn't begun to realize, fuck, I wasn't just like a little girl who lost her parents. I was a little girl who was important who lost her parents. Who the fuck are my parents? Like, how, like, she remembers that they loved her. She remembers all that stuff. But, like, she doesn't, I guess she's just beginning to realize her dynamic and her life wasn't normal as a child.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she's beginning to realize that, especially talking to Delson, who's a privileged person. And even he's like, wait, that's above me. And I think Rainn's like, wait, what? You didn't have servants? Several? You didn't have a tutor specifically for
just
math?
have one quickling?
Oh,
Okay.
I had 6 tutors. You were 4. Rainn's like, start early.
You went to go to school? Oh, school came to me.
Yeah, Rainn's rich enough that school came to her. She's I have a feeling that her parents would have put her into a school when she hit like 6, but she would have just shown up and just breezed through it. They would have done it just that way she met other people her age, because they didn't want, you don't want to totally fuck up your child by having
I'm
them.
now just picturing baby Rainn on a playground in the middle of winter, all her like warm clothes on. Somebody pushes her down, then she just clobbers their face into the slide, bangs their face on the monkey bars, like has her first rage.
What's funny is her
because her rage isn't probably just fueled from what she's gone through. There's an innate fire within Rainn.
Her dad, even though he speaks very calmly, it comes from him. He's the one that's also more broadly built. He can get angry and heated.
Mm-hmm.
He's a passionate man. He's quiet and calm a lot of times, but he can get passionate. Her mother's also like that too. Her mother's the second she raises her voice, you go, "Oh no, we're fucked." Oh no.
Oh no, we're dicked. What did we do? What did we do?
Like, because that's where Rainn gets the look of I'm ripping through, like the look that when they look at you, they're ripping through your soul. Like, you know how someone's eyes, some people have just those eyes when they look at you angrily, you're like, uh-oh. Her mom has that, and Rainn has that look that she can just be like, it just tears through you.
I will always remember back to session 2. Ooh, session 2 of the heist. Where
a while ago now.
Wind Whisper jumped and fell on Paul and knocked him unconscious because he dealt 3 bludgeoning damage.
You made my first intimidation check.
And then as that situation is being resolved, Rainn just shouts loudly and firmly and just told them all, "You're being fucking idiots. This is how it's gonna be. You listen to what I say.
Hey, you do as I say. You do as my command," which is a very she's a person who was born for authority.
And put her back on screen. Let's see this authority person.
Well, that's what's really funny about Rainn. And like, he's like, she's so cute. She's so unnecessarily like pretty and cute. I'm like, yeah, and she is, in my headcanon, the most powerful person in Zista besides the queen.
Can you imagine this face? That face right there.
That cute little
angry
smile.
And yelling at you and being firm.
That's what's scary about it, because it's a switch. Because she goes from being so pretty and like obviously, like look how that's the point of the proposal. She's being very playful in a conversation. She's probably like debating about something like, oh, we can, like talking to like Misfortune about like better like strategic idea.
Or instead of that,
I have a better idea. And then she gives like a long explanation.
It's like Star-Lord's things. It's a good plan, except it sucks. So instead, we're going to do my plan, which will be better.
But much more charismatic and thought out. And like, so normally, like, she seems very collected together. She's pretty, she's smart, and like, that's the vibes you get from her, and very initially, is the pretty smartness. But no one, until you piss her off, sees the "I'm going to rip you in half" eyes.
You see your throat? Crack it in 2.
I'm just going to shove my hand into your mouth and rip your jaw.
You see this heel? It's going to be buried down your throat.
She did kill a goblin that way. I like how this got I put this in the chat and Brian's like, "How is she gonna fight in heels?" I'm like, she already did canonically. She killed a goblin with her heel. Admittedly, I rolled really high, but still, like, she killed that fucker.
How many people has Rainn killed?
Including that goblin. Is that like, is he dead or not? That you have to make that choice as DM. Rainn didn't see him die, so she doesn't technically know. So she has plausible deniability.
She doesn't know, however, that goblin is dead.
She does not know, but that goblin is dead. He was flung across the room into a table, and there was a crash sound.
After being stabbed and punctured through with a heel.
He's dead.
That, is also touching the ground all day. There's a lot of diseases. That's going to get infected.
He's dead. He's not important. He's dead. I think at the beginning of the heist, there's 11 people she confirmed she's killed. She has implied maybe killed other people in her life, but is unsure of their fates. Mm-hmm. Like, there's people she's pushed into a fall and doesn't know if they survived that fall or not, but never looked. Mm-hmm. So she's assumed kill probably closer to 30 people in terms of, like, she's unsure if they survived afterwards. They might be knocked unconscious or whatever, but she doesn't know someone grabbed them afterwards. But there's 11 people she's confirmed kill at the beginning of session 0.
I don't think she's killed anybody in the campaign.
The goblin.
Oh, that, yeah.
The goblin, no. No, she killed the beasts that attacked. I killed 2 of them.
Which ones?
At Yic's, in front of the pit at Yic's. She killed 2 of them.
Okay.
Because I was raging, so I obliterated the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
Rainn did the whole, like, slice its throat open, step to the side as it falls, stands to the next one, and there's like, and everyone's like, as Vicky put it, I bet Rainn looks really hot right now. Angry, but, like, she just slits, like, in half, and to just let it fall next to her and sidestepped it, and then went,
just look at that face. Look at that face right there. It's just
imagine her ripping someone's throat right open with oh my god, I forgot.
Short sword, saber, rapier.
It's rapier. There you go, rapier, because that's a D8. That's why she used it. Because she has a short sword too, but obviously the rapier does more damage.
By the way, also, one thing that was missed in today's session that people don't get to get involved in was Yic had a really cool melee weapon that nobody got in melee combat with him, so he never brought it out. And nobody got a chance to loot his body afterwards.
They had to run, admittedly, Brian. There's a lot going on.
Yeah,
they stayed there, gonna get in trouble.
That was the moment to get the fuck out. You realize, too, even if the guards do get out of there and they make it through their clockwork forest, you guys took the dune at platform.
Yeah, they're fun. Like, you can just walk and be like, where are you gonna go? And they're like, dicks. They're fine. There's nowhere.
Fall into the sleeping pit and find their way out, but that'll go fucking well.
They luckily all have pretty high stats, but still.
Good dick.
Yeah.
They were... fuck.
That yawn indicates that we're going to stop soon.
Yeah, probably. They were called the Mighty Born. Their name never came up, but they were the Mighty Born.
Well, the Mighty Born are mighty dead. I know you got to roll for them later.
One of them wanted to reform Seabreeze so bad into a soldier. He's like, you have the skill, you just need the discipline.
Well, that's... Okay, so that's interesting conversation. That's the whole Rainn thing about Seabreeze, which I talked to Callumn just a little bit about, is Rainn sees that Wind Whisper now. Sorry, he's no longer Seabreeze. We have to remember that.
Well, no, he's still going by Seabreeze.
I thought he was going by Wind Whisper. That's what Callum said earlier to me.
No, he made the decision in session when we started. He may look like Wind Whisper now, but he's still keeping the name
so he
Seabreeze.
told me a different thing.
So
like,
he might
literally
have changed his mind then.
2 hours ago, but we had a different conversation at the beginning of this
I just know because...
Okay, that's fine
when that happened to him, I was like, hey, I need to know your distinction here. Are you Wind Whisper again, or are you Seabreeze? And he told me, no, I'm still Seabreeze.
Okay.
So that's what I've been rolling with.
Okay, cool. I keep switching them because Callum keeps not giving me great, clear answers. So I'm just like, what the fuck? What's your name? Rainn sees he has lots of good in him. He is a very kind, sweet heart. But...
Short temper.
Well, yeah, he's a short fuse temper. He's bad at listening to instructions. He's a warlock with a patron that clearly is evil.
Elemental evil. Elemental evil.
And Rainn's just like, you have so much... She believes it too. You have so much potential, but you're better behind a jail, behind jailed bars where your patron can't communicate with you.
Like,
where you can fail your patron.
Even if him leaving the city after this, still not good because then he's still free. In Rainn's eyes, Seabreeze cannot be free.
Nope, he's useful most if you can keep him somewhere.
He's basically like the Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
You
He's
keep them locked away,
until
and
you
then when you need them, they complete a task. And then from there,
Rainn
lock 'em
wants
back
to
away.
lock him up long enough that his patron gives up on him. Because then he's not a threat anymore.
will the patron give up on them? I mean, the patron has millennia to live.
I understand that, Brian.
If he's going to be loyal in his psychosis afterwards.
It's one of those, well, key is it depends on how vital, like short-term vital his patron's goals are, you know what I mean? Because they have to happen before time's alignment. That's a set period of time. That's 4 years-ish, guessing, based on math from Bracket.
I know.
I know you do. I don't.
It's gonna be great what happens because it'll. I can't overstate enough. The heist is going to change the fabric of Zista.
I know. It's gonna be a real rainy day, probably.
Ha 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 ha.
No, not the rain bit. That's the funny part. I make that joke every time.
Ha 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 ha. And on that terrible joke,
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, that killed it. That was the end. That was bad. Thank you for watching and being with us, all 2 viewers of this session. Actually, at one point we were like 4 or 5, but then we took intermission and everyone ran away from us. Thank you, Jahi, who's not watching anymore, I don't think. Thank you for coming to join us for a little bit. It was very awesome of you.
Next time we'll also plan these and announce these a little bit better ahead of time, not just 24 hours. So we can build up the hype to get more people in there.
The session, actual session. DisasterCast.
Well, we weren't even planning a DisasterCast today.
That is true. We weren't. But we were going to have a 2-week break instead of, like, an extra a little bit longer than normal for DisasterCast. So this actually worked out for how I was going to have to redo the DisasterCast planning. Next DisasterCast will be in 2 weeks on the weekend of looking at a calendar. The weekend of the 22nd. So it'll be on the 22nd. Sorry. Yeah, that's right. The 22nd. This is a different day now.
So just check out our YouTube. We'll be uploading videos on there. Just keep up the content going.
Next week, depending on time constraints, we should have another one of our old DisasterCasts up on Saturday. And on Sunday, hopefully this session. We'll see if we manage that. Depends if Brian can get a description done on that or not. I'll get it all set up for you, but thank you for watching. Thank you for seeing DisasterCast. Next one's the 22nd.
Happy Mother's Day out there, too, by the way.
Yeah, it's officially Mother's Day right now. To the mothers. I need to call mine.
Gonna go to Olive Garden tomorrow.
I can't go to restaurants yet. I'm not ready.
In time.
Maybe never again.
Tune in next time on the next disaster to find
out. In reality, you wouldn't. In 2 weeks, it's still not going to be the same, even though my vaccination...
You're going to have to keep following up for the next 20 disaster casts.
It's going to be like a year till I feel comfortable.
Have a good night, everyone. Good night.
End card.